hey, I want you to have experience with $100 million fund up to $1 billion fund, because I want you to know all the ins and outs, all the financials, all the modeling, all the legal stuff. And I want you to be able to move money predictably and reliable for me and our investors. And so that's what we mean by who, not how. One of my favorite books is Who, Not How.
That's right.
And why, Flip?
Well, we learned the hard way that we put the hows in a lot of seats before, and it hurt.
It did. I think that's part of the growing pains of growing a business. You don't always have the ability to hire the who, right? The who tends to be expensive. And so you hire people that you can train to do the job, but you're always having to babysit, or you're always having to, dip your hand in. And I won't say always. Sometimes you actually get a team member who's just a rock star and they're able to kind of take the wheel, and you trust them to take the wheel. And that's really what we got to at a certain level, where we started hiring core leaders, so that we could relinquish some responsibilities to them and they manage their teams. But we're at a point now that we can hire who's. And why that's important is because as you continue to grow, you've got this strong foundation. So now it's not a matter of growing too fast. You figured it out. Now you're just adding the little pieces that go, hey, this makes us better. This makes us more money. But you don't want to start from scratch and build the entire infrastructure yourself. So this hard money lending company, for example, is partnering with another hard money lending company who has a $35 million, actually, I think they have a $50 million fund, and they have like $35 million actively at use. And they've been doing it for years. That's what I mean by who, not how, right? We don't have to build the infrastructure to this. Now we're using an existing company that's already doing it and at a very, very high level. And now we can raise as much capital as we need. And we know that if we have excess, we're going, hey, we can do more loans, and we just have the applications and the borrowers coming in, and we're able to, fund those loans and keep that money in use. And so that partnership is allowing us to enter into a new business without having to build it all by ourselves or learn any hard lessons. And the fund manager hire that we're working on right now is the other who we want. And we're specifically saying, hey, I want you to have experience with $100 million fund up to $1 billion fund, because I want you to know all the ins and outs, all the financials, all the modeling, all the legal stuff. And I want you to be able to move money predictably and reliable for me and our investors. And so that's what we mean by who, not how. And it's so great to be in that position.
Yeah, I think when we first started, it wasn't a who, not how. It was they're warm-blooded and they were breathing, come on board, and let's see if we can make this company work. And now we're almost 60 team members. So that's
over 60.
Over 60. So it's 60. And so now we have to hire the who's.
Yes.
I mean, and we can hire the who's, which is awesome. We not only have to, but we can.
Yes.
Because those who's they come with a price tag.
Yes.
The bigger we get, the more pricey those who's get. I'm glad that you found that book and really dug into it as much as you did when you did, because now it's huge.
It's important to know that Flip and I position ourselves to rely on other people who are more experienced in areas of the business than we are, right? That's really what the who means. It means that Flip and Dani don't have to go and learn this business. Flip and Dani are going to hire somebody who already knows the business and rely on them for their expertise and their knowledge to ensure that we're successful. Now, Flip and Dani don't go, hey, here's a business, go ahead and run it. No, we are hands-on. We create the KPIs. We watch the CEO dashboards, and we make sure that everything is running smooth. We make sure that we're strategically making the right decisions, because with all the family of companies working together, sometimes that gets a little weird. We have to take off our family of companies hat and go, okay, I am now just the renovations company. And I need to make sure that I am serving the renovations company and not bleeding money here because I'm giving a discount to the property management company, or giving a discount to the turnkey company, or whatever it is. So sometimes we have to take off, the family hat so that we can put on the business hat to say, hey, just because we're a family of companies doesn't mean that each company shouldn't be standing on its own. It should be standing on its own. There was a time when we were creating these companies that we said we actually created all the different entities and didn't put an umbrella company over them in a legal manner,
right.
Because we wanted the liability to be separate. We also wanted the ability to sell like different companies, right? Which is further to the point. Every company has to stand on its own,
right?
Pay for their payroll, pay for their overhead, the software, marketing, whatever it is, still make a profit, right? And as you're building vertically integrated like that, that's not always going to be true. You have to understand as you're building that you may be not profitable for years. You may have one company that's really carrying the rest. That's really what we did with Freedom. Is Freedom was the first company, and as it got profitable, it carried the next one to build, and then it actually carried the next one to build. Like it continued to carry the other companies so that we could keep control and build that foundation. And that was not something that we intended. It was just something that we realized we had to do. And thankful for it, because now look at how strategic we get to be in adding on more companies that are strategic.
Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss.